Welcome back
I didn't know we were going.
to the podcast Redeemed.
We said nothing.
Well, I see red lights, so we might
Yeah,
as well go.
I just started going.
Yeah.
So we started.
All right. So we're continue on with chapter 10. Jesus sends out the 12. Verse 16 says, I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore, be as shrewd as snakes and innocent as doves. Be on your guard. You will be handed over to local councils, flogged in the synagogues. All right. So Jesus is moving on to the persecution part, and he was saying that, hey, you're going to be sharing basically the plan of salvation. You're going to be sharing the gospel. You are going to come under persecution because
Some people aren't going to like
People
it.
aren't gonna like it.
especially if you take it in that time, those Jewish leaders, they pushed back
They
against
really didn't like it.
everything that the disciples and
Yeah.
Jesus stood for. And so he's kind of getting them ready for that, saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. And they probably should have known a little bit, because as you're walking through this whole thing with Jesus, he came under persecution several times.
A lot.
And so he said,
Be on your guard. You'll be handed over to local councils and be flogged in the synagogues. Okay, that doesn't sound like fun to me.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, wait a minute. Is there a way to... one of them was thinking, is there a way we can avoid that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, probably not in most situations.
okay. But then, if you continue on, this is where it gets good. It says, on my account, you will be brought before governors and kings as witnesses to them and to the Gentiles.
So, even though they were being persecuted, they were arrested, and they were being flogged, they were still being used by God to minister to people in high-ranking places.
This specifically, the Jewish leaders, what they didn't realize that they were doing, and Paul does this later in Romans, we were talking about that earlier, is they didn't realize that they were giving the disciples a huge stage and audience.
Oh, every time.
Because all of these things, the flogging, all this persecution took place in front of massive crowds, high-ranking crowds. So all they were doing, and that's obviously why Jesus is letting them know, like, hey, this is going to happen
It's okay.
for a reason.
Yeah.
This is by design, but you're going to be put in front of some of the most supreme leaders at that time.
And I think that's really what he's getting at, is that even though we're in persecution, God has a plan for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, and sometimes we can forget that when we're in the midst of that persecution. It's like, Lord, why are you doing this to me? I don't want to be here. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. But in the end, He's got a plan while you're there, and in this certain aspect, gives them opportunity to share in front of like Michael was saying, huge audiences, huge audiences, with people who had extreme influence.
Yeah.
I mean,
Government
it
leaders.
wasn't like just a bunch of people gathered together. These were high-ranking officials that had immense influence on the people around them at that time.
Not to even mention the thousands watching along. Because you had the governors and kings at the front. If you ever seen a movie from that time, and normally this would happen in the courtyards. Well, it's real. It's historical accurate.
And just like that
I
you
taught
said,
history.
like, oh, it's a movie. It's
Because
like,
everybody's
you
seen
just-
movies.
But you could have just said, like, back in that time, but you were like, nah, in
Back
the
in my
movies.
day. No, instead, and then you'd have the courtyard surrounding it, and that was where everyone else would watch.
What movie was that from?
Gladiator.
Okay.
Are you
And-
not
and,
entertained?
I mean, like 15
All
other
of them.
medieval time movies, but
yeah, most of them.
pretty much every.
Because
And
that's how
actually,
they did it.
if you look at it, some of those places were designed so that the sound carried.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Better than
crazy
most places.
looking
Yeah.
at like
So they didn't even need a microphone.
Yeah.
And it carried.
looking at how they were able to build all those things and stuff. It's like
Right.
they were pretty smart.
Yes, they were.
We digress. Back on track here.
Watch Gladiator.
But when they arrest you, do not worry. So we're taking the next step here, okay? So there is going to be persecution. We're going to continue on here. But when they blah, 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 blah.
Subtitles for that, please.
But when they arrest you, do not worry about what to say or how to say it. At that time, you'll be given what to say. So once you get in those positions, God will put you there, but we don't have to worry about what we're going to say. I still believe that there should be some study in the Word, because you're going to find your bits of truth there that you need. But at the end of the day, when you're in those positions, God will give you the words to say. So there's going to be persecution. Don't worry about it, especially if you're suffering for the Lord. because you got to be careful there because we do create our own suffering sometimes. But
Yes.
in this particular aspect, you're suffering for the Lord. He'll give you the words to say. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.